So we are finally getting some real iPhone rumors, some real leaks and stuff, and they're coming from the man, the myth, the Kuo, whatever you want to call him, the man himself, Ming-Chi Kuo. And it finally feels pretty good talking about some tech news that has to do with Ming-Chi Kuo. Well, let's just hope that they are true, because if he says what is going to happen, I'm on board. So, let's go. Yo, what's happening, everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to Technoid. And before we start anything, I just gotta get something. Give me one sec. Alright, much better. Just had to grab my iPad. So as I said, guys, we're going to talk about all that Ming-Chi Kuo has predicted for early 2020. And also, I'm going to give my input on what I think is true or not. Now, the first thing he obviously predicts, if we go down the list, he predicts that we are going to be getting some new iPad Pros, the iPhone SE 2. We will also be seeing some Apple AR headsets and also some collaborations with third-party brands. So let's start it off with the iPad Pro. So the iPad Pro is going to get a refresh, maybe an A13X chip, but it will have the triple camera setup from the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. Why? I don't know, but okay. And also saying that it will get some 3D time-of-flight sensors as well. Also included is the iPhone SE 2, which will take the iPhone 8's design and basically just give it the A13 and make it lower cost. And I think that that is a very smart thing for Apple to do. The iPhone SE 2 was one of their best-selling products, and I think that the iPhone SE 2 would make a lot more sense. Also talking about is the AR glasses that Apple was rumored to be working on. He predicts that it will be an iPhone accessory that will work with the iPhone and will basically be released in the middle of Q2 of 2020. Now, for me, I don't necessarily think AR glasses is practical, but it could be done right if it looks nice. And knowing Apple's track record, they used to make good-looking products, but we don't know. But the AR glasses are rumored to basically be like an interactive iOS kind of feature where you can get your messages, everything around you with Siri, and it should work like AR. You can play games and stuff like that. There's not much said about this, but hopefully we get a lot more on this. And lastly, then also talking about MacBooks, he says that the MacBooks are going to switch to scissor keys in the second quarter of 2020. Hopefully he's referring to the 16-inch. He didn't specify which MacBook. He just said that MacBooks would be getting scissor keys, and I hope it starts with the 16-inch. It would make a lot more sense logically, because that is the newest MacBook Pro, and it also, the butterfly keys just sucked. They really were bad. And also finishing up, he also talks about third parties, basically partnering up with headsets. So like with CPU and GPUs to connect networks and things like that. But also referring to also because he means that third-party manufacturers will also be able to release other things with this AR technology. So we're talking about the AR headsets. So for example, like Ookla, maybe even PlayStation VR, who knows? So hopefully some third-party brands will get in the mix. So these are some solid predictions by Ming-Chi Kuo. I do think the iPad Pro and the MacBooks are going to happen. AR glasses, I'm not too sure about. Maybe they're just going to be some headsets. And as for I believe the SE2, that would be nice if that was to happen. So these are Ming-Chi Kuo's predictions. Usually he's not wrong. So hopefully, Mr. Kuo, you are telling the truth. So that is story number one. Story number two, let's move over to Google. There are a couple of rumors that are suggesting that Google is working on a 5G phone that could be released at the time of the Pixel 4 event. And hopefully, this 5G variant will be the surprise shock of the show, because nobody's really talking about 5G at this point. I really don't think 5G is practical at this point still, so I don't know why companies are wasting it. That's why I give so much prop to Apple for holding off on making a 5G phone. And last story up is Samsung. Samsung is now... Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. So last story up, as I said, we're going to move over to Samsung because, you know, we got to have Samsung. So Samsung has opened up the Samsung One UI 2.0 beta for Android 10. It will be available sometime in October for T-Mobile, Sprint, and unlocked users. So now they're getting their hands on Android 10 and they're working on the One UI 2.0. Now, I'm not necessarily convinced that this is going to work out the way they think. but it would be nice to see what they do differently, because the One UI is a great skin for Android. It makes it simple on Samsung. So 2.0 would be nice, and it's interesting to see how they go on this beta. So hopefully, hopefully I think that, it works out for them. But the One UI 2.0 beta should be starting up soon, and people with S10, S10 Plus, and S10e are available to get their hands on the beta. No word on the Note or anything. And that's it for today's episode. But before I go, I want to do something. I don't care what happens at this point. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat from this guy, but honestly, guys, this is just an FYI. If you're going to purchase accessories for your phone, I would advise you to purchase from established brands with very good track records. What do I mean? We're going out of characters. So guys, in the summer, I attempted to make a video and a review on a product that I saw in an upcoming company that looks like it has potential to grow. The company is called Volt Wireless. They are a independent company starting up. I looked at their product and I thought, all right, this is pretty cool. They're charging cases for the iPhones. Look familiar to you? Well, if they don't, this was because I never made the review and I refused to make the review, and I still don't know why I have these, but I'll give you guys the backstory. This is just a small little FYI to you guys. So in the summer, I contacted the owner of Volts, whoever was in charge of the social media page, who I have a feeling it is probably the owner. So to the owner of Volts, you probably should not be in charge of the social media page because you don't know how to talk to customers. But that is just that. So basically, I talked to this guy and I said, look, I like the product. I'm a YouTuber. I would like to review it because, I see some potential in this and I'm willing to help out, but I don't have enough money on me. I was wondering if you could help me out with pricing. The guy was nice enough, I will say. He was very nice in giving me a discount on the case, and I was really happy that he tried to help me on that aspect. That is the one good thing I will say. And we worked it out. I thought I had the money, and as soon as I put the purchase in, I thought, all right, I'm going to review these. Only then to discover after I contacted my bank. They contacted me about my funds. I wanted to make sure I had the money. This was all after I purchased them. They tell me I don't have enough money. That's just perfect, ain't it? So I decided to cancel it. So I emailed him. I was like, look, man, I ain't got the funds. I can't afford these. So can we just cancel the purchase? Let me get my paychecks when I go back to work, and then I'll repurchase them, because my credit card bill was about to also end at this time period. This guy decides to put the process in, process the order, and he ships it out. I'm not even joking. And then he tells me, oh, I can't cancel. It's been shipped. I was like, okay. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll stick out with it. I thought that was it. I was like, okay, fine, it'll come here, then I could just contact him and ship. He messages me and says, what do you mean you can't have them? I explain my situation. The guy tells me, oh, and you are seeing the messages for yourselves, so even if I don't remember them, that's because I haven't looked back at these. So what you're seeing is exactly what he said. I tried to remain as, respectful. I was gonna flip. I was about to flip out on this guy, because I was like, what the hell? This is so unprofessional. So then I was like, look, obviously, this is not going anywhere. He's getting pissed off that I wanted to cancel it. He tells me, oh, I shipped it. You can't do this. And I'm like, you realize Amazon has thousands of orders every day, and people do that stuff, so it's not common. But my favorite part of this convo was when I told him, I said, I'm sorry, I just got canceled. He tries to tell me, oh, why don't you buy them back or something? Are you... What? Why would I want to borrow money from my parents? First of all, I don't use my parents for their money. I'm independent. Secondly, they probably wouldn't even back me up on this. So that's number two. But number three, why are you asking a consumer to ask other people for money to pay for your product? That's their money. He tells me, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not keeping it. At that point, when I saw what he was doing, I'm like, nope, I'm not keeping it. But it ships anyway and tells me in order to get a full refund, you have to send it back, and it's been unopened. Well, it arrives. I call my credit card company and file a dispute. I text him back after I already filed the dispute, after he messaged me because I did not like the way this guy treated me. So then I contact him back saying, hey, I received the product. Can you please send me a return label? Never heard back from him. Called the bank, and guess what happened? Boom, canceled, and I got my refund. So I've been sitting with these things in my house, unopened, untouched, and to the guy at Volts, if you're watching this, let me give you a little advice. If you're going to deal with customers like this, in the future, don't tell people to borrow money from other people. And as for this product itself, I don't want to diss on this because it probably is a good charger. I'm not saying that it's terrible. I think the concept is nice, that you could use it wirelessly, but when I talked to this guy, it was just retarded. He literally said that you can't use the USB Type-C to charge the phone and the case, which makes no sense because if you pay the other price with Mophie cases, you can charge the phone wirelessly with wireless charging, you can charge it with Lightning, and you can charge it with USB Type-C. This thing, however, uses 3 different cables to charge both of them at the same time. And I'm like, but if you pay for Mophie, you could just use one cable and it'll charge the phone first, then the case. But the point is this. Guys, if you're gonna buy from a company, please make sure you buy from a more trustworthy company, an established company. And to the guy from Volts, if you're watching this, I hope you learned from this because the behavior you displayed to me was very, very inappropriate, out of character, and unprofessional. So I hope you get the memo. And I hope to my subscribers, if you use this, look, if you want to buy this, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not trying to take business away from this guy. I just wanted to bring this to you guys, awareness that, look, these things happen, but if this happens to you, don't be fooled by it. And if you want to buy this, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I should think, honestly, go for it. If you want to buy this product, buy it. Try it out for yourself. It probably is a good charger. The concept is nice, but the execution of it, in my opinion, is flawed. But look, that's my opinion, and I'm never going to use this thing, so I'm probably just going to sell it because he obviously doesn't want it back. So that's that. So guys, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the news aspect of this story. I know I went off topic for this whole video, but guys, please be aware of who you buy from and please be careful because sometimes it's better to just buy from an established brand. And honestly, guys, look, that is just my opinion, but if you want to try it out, definitely check it out. I'll even leave a link to the guy's website. Please don't spread any hate. Do not message him and say, oh, you shouldn't treat your customer. Look, just leave it alone. Let it be. Let the man do his business. And please don't go harassing the man. So please, if you want to check it out, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for the charging case. But that is it for today's episode of Technoid, guys. I'll leave a time frame in the video if you want to skip over this. You can get to here. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the Samsung, supposed Samsung One UI beta, also the Apple rumors and the supposed 5G? Let me hear your thoughts down below. That is going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching and peace.